Draft. There we go. Clairvoyant Gaming versus Symbiote. Clairvoyant rocking that first ban, first pick. Symbiote on that right side. Gonna get that second ban and the second pick with those two. Now, we see Tychus and Uther banned here. Uther a little uncommon for a ban. He's been creeping up in pick order, but hasn't seen bans really yet. So that's kind of interesting.
I like it.
But
I think Uther might be or is, to me at least, the strongest support. And if you're not first pick and the other team picks Uther, it has a lot of long-reaching effects too, where Uther also can counter a lot of heroes, like say Kerrigan or Tyrael, through either cleanse or through just stunning them non-stop.
yeah.
So if you can't get him, like, make sure no one can. I like it.
I definitely can respect that. Now, the drafts start what looks normal, right? You see the Arthas pick, and then they followed up with Tassadar, and it just gets pretty weird from here. We see Sonya picked up really early by Symbiote, which is not totally unusual, but Clairvoyant goes with a really strange comp where they end up with Arthas, Stitches, Malfurion, Brightwing, Illidan. And that's being played against Tassadar, Sonya, Vala, Rhaegar, Tyrael. Sheth, what is going on with this Clairvoyant lineup? Do you have any insight for me? Because I'm flabbergasted.
Well, it is flabbergasting. The Stitches to pick something, the Brightwing to knock people away, and then whenever they re-engage, the Malfurion ult, and then the Illidan and Arthas go in, and it might even be like a damage Malfurion build, and like a damage Brightwing build, just so you have some heals and some damage. And then SMG is just like, well, we're just going to take the stronger heroes, and whenever you pick someone away, we're going to like Bloodlust, Tyrael ult, and we're going to chase you and kill you. So I think it's going to depend on how good the Stitches hooks will be, how good the early game will be, and then how, like, just SMG has been amazing, play-wise. Yeah. We'll see if they can be countered by CG.
I wonder if Clairvoyant has, a clutch new strategy here, or if this is just going to be a flop. I guess we are going to have to find out by getting into game. Sheth, are you locked in? 5 seconds normal speed, good to go?
You bet.
Well, that's what I like to hear. I'm checking out this blue top side team in 3, 2, 1, and let's unpause. Now on this blue side, we are looking at Clairvoyant Gaming running Hawkfu on the Stitches, Suki on the Brightwing, Descent playing the Master Skin Illidan, Notorious DIG. He has practiced Illidan. Can confirm. Notorious DIG on the Malfurion, and March rocking the Arthas.
Yep.
And on this red side team, you want to take it away?
You bet. We got the angry-looking Tyrael, red and black wings, pretty cool skin, with Dreadnought playing it. And we got Mad to Meet, the support Rhaegar, also rocking a cool master skin, Rhaegar. Arthalon on Tassadar, Soldier on Barbarian or Sonya, and KO playing Vala, another master skin.
Yup, and we see, pretty standard laning type setup for top, for Clairvoyant on the side with their Golem. This is really normal. Symbiote hasn't cemented into their lanes yet, but it looks like it's going to be 4 bottom, the side with their Golem. Now, this is really common and starting to be the default meta for this Haunted Mines map. You have any info on, maybe you can break down that meta a little bit for us real quick, Chef?
Well, it's pretty much just what you said. You put almost your strongest laner on the opposite lane with your Golem, and in this case it's going to be Brightwing, just so I think actually teleport up and they go in mines together. And the other side, they put their Tassadar, and they also brought up Dreadnought on the Tyrael to just kind of help clear the lane a little bit and make sure everything's safe. And then you just all go in mines together as 5, right whenever it opens usually, and try and kind of do some damage to the lane where your Golem's going to push, just in case there's a base race, you have some sort of lead. And that's pretty much the basics of it, I guess.
Okay, so definitely interesting there. Now, on this bottom lane, Symbiote is actually kind of bodying the Brightwing away from experience a bit. It'll be interesting to see if that has any lasting effect on the overall leveling of these teams. Even a little bit of XP in this early game, if you deny it, can lead to, maybe hitting that level 4 breakpoint first. That could be big.
I like it. They're not playing too open and easy to read. Sometimes they're rotated up top. Now they're taking the ogre camps.
Yeah.
2 bottom. They're not zoning anymore, but like you said, they were.
Yeah.
It's pretty good play, keeping things always changing.
Yeah, definitely. So now Clairvoyant has 3 people committed to this top side, and there's just not really anything for them to do at the moment. Tastar does make it back up there. Tastar Tyrael, neither of them's dying, and wow, Sheth called it exactly. We see an instantaneous 5-man into the mines on that top side by Clairvoyant. Now, Clairvoyant is split up, trying to clear skulls. Is SMG going to come in here, try to 5-man stack and bite them? Let's see
Oh
what
yeah,
happens.
I think so. You
Okay,
can't let
so
him get just free mines, you know.
definitely. So Dreadnought immediately goes in with the Tyrael, but he doesn't have the Judgment yet, so it's not that impactful. We see a lot of brawling here, not a ton of being damage put out. Descent does get low, has to go back in, manages to pick off Soldier, but we also see Barbarian following. Now March trying to zone out the entire Symbiote team, but it's not enough. Even Arthas is not that tanky. Descent gonna fall for Clairvoyance, and that is going to be a rout. We see a 4 for 2 in favor of Symbiote. And they're just going to chase Notorious DIG out of this mines. Oh, he's going to get a little cheeky, maybe go for some skulls, maybe not. But the story here is Symbiote taking a clean victory and getting a lot of skulls off of this.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, too, it's going to be interesting. I feel like definitely CG should go right back in the mines and try and fight them again. Their golems also did do a little bit of work, so timing and getting the golems right before the mines opened was really smart for them. And now I think I don't remember the name. SMG has to run. Stay left to the mines to check on everything. And they did, get a lot of skulls, but they aren't going to get the most, especially if this big golem goes to CG.
Yeah, Clairvoyant taking a really clean big golem here, and he hooks in Arthon on that Tastar, but that's not the focus target they want. They decide to switch to Soldier on that Barbarian, but Hawkfu up in the front here, trying to get some damage and some slow on. He ends up getting shielded at the last second, is going to make it out. Now March on the front lines, getting focused down by the whole SMG squad, sitting in that healing ward, focus firing down March. That means the 2 tanks from Clairvoyant almost get away really low, but finally the levy breaks. Malfurion and Arthas go down at the exact same time. Clairvoyant routed yet again in this fight, and that auto attack from Tastar going to be the straw that breaks the Illidan's back. And he's going to go down.
Yeah, they ended up getting the big golem, which was good, but they couldn't quite get away, so very nice timing by SMG to be able to go back in, and their options were either do knights or do that, and definitely a good idea to went back in, because now they get knights clean as well.
Yeah.
So, extra bonus stuff. Good calls.
Taking that fight there is huge for SMG. Not only do they secure now a 2-level lead, 5-kill advantage, and a reasonable amount of skulls, but getting those kills, secure the knights again, that's just even more experience. Now we see both teams deciding to get aggressive and push with their Grave Golems. Symbiote sending only Tassadar up to this top side to try and mitigate your losses here. And neither team really just wants to be the team defending against a golem, because it's so easy to dive the forts, even in the early game, now that the golems are so powerful.
Yeah, very hard for them to actually stand anywhere near. Arthalon does end up getting caught. That's what we talked about. So we talked about
he's a Tassadar. He's a Tassadar. He's got that void shift. We're here 5 minutes, 50 seconds into the game, and you're just not going to catch a Tassadar most of the time. You can try your hardest, but maybe once you have that fishing hook gorge, maybe you can get something done, but it's just so hard to catch Tassadar. And we see both teams having taken the other team's fort in the lane with the Grave Golem, and Clairvoyant still attacking with their Golem here. Dreadnought does get stomped by the Golem, and Kaio gets hooked way back into the back line of that Clairvoyant team. Is this a fight that Symbiote wants to take, though? They've managed to move past the Grave Golem, and this is going to be huge because the stomp is not going to hit anyone, even if it comes out now. And Clairvoyant feels like they're losing this team fight. They've lost a lot of the health on their team members. Brightwing goes down. Illidan getting really low, has to jump on a Dreadnought, but that is going to end up costing him his life as well. And they clean up Malfurion and Stitches. So Clairvoyant trying to fight with their Golem is just not enough.
Yeah, they took enough of a level disadvantage. They were 2 levels down for that fight, and especially early on, 2 levels, 9 to 7 is such a big deal.
Yeah, those 2 levels are the game, brutal. And then that 10th level, we see Barbarian hitting level 10, leveling that slam instantly, and using it to finish off Arthas as he's trying to 1-8. Thinks he's safe in his fort. Barbarian says no. And yeah, she said but what she meant was no. I'm gonna kill you. There was probably some swear words. I don't speak war calls. But that is going to be another dominating team fight by Symbiote. And it looks like the Clairvoyant squad they've drafted is falling a little bit flat here.
Well, they actually had a pretty good team, it seemed, for early game team fights. Maybe not the right wing aspect of it, but the rest of the team, Illidan's pretty good early, or at least he can be. Because you can, finish off people by not letting you escape if you ever
Yeah.
get in a good situation. But, they never got into a good situation. Now when they're behind, you don't really, you can't really do as much with Illidan. You almost have to go in and you have to be able to almost chase people with Illidan, but he's just going to kind of go in and die.
Yeah.
Especially with this 3 level at the moment disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's looking rough.
Illidan definitely feels like one of those people where when you're behind, you feel way behind on him. So I can understand there's some frustration there. And Clairvoyant trying to hit that level 10, trying to make it to that break point. I don't even know if they're going to be able to get to level 10 before Symbiote hits 13 here. If Symbiote breaks this fort, they probably get 13 off of it, and that means that they're now almost 4 levels up on Clairvoyant. Yep, there's a level 12 to level 9. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I was looking at the kills. Anyway,
12
so
kills,
3-level lead.
12 levels, close
Yeah,
enough.
it's like the 12 days of kill miss, I guess.
All right.
Anyway, okay. Alright, so we see both teams heading into the mines now. Clairvoyant wants to get 5 people in the mines, but they're scared to engage here, as they should be. That's an easy spot to get ambushed. Symbiote looking to take the engage. Tyrael just walks into the middle. Hawkfu getting in there, and a huge leap by Soldier stuns 4, but the Malfurion Silence comes in and it silences Soldier and Tyrael. Is it going to be enough to focus fire them down? They're getting really low. Mad Timmy ends up falling. Descent's going to go down on that Illidan. No, he gets away with the evasion and the first aid. Tries to dive into the back line. Now we see Symbiote with the Kaio Soldier Dreadnought trying to finish off this team fight, and they manage to take down the entire Symbiote team in what is a very fast-paced, high-impact team fight. So, initiated there. Oh, looks like we've lost. We've lost Chef. Team. Gonna give that a minute. Pause at 9:23. While we wait for Chef to get back, I'm just gonna give him a second. I'm going to go over that team fight real quick because that was pretty explosive. Now, that team fight was initiated with a barb leap onto 4, and it looked really clean. The Malfurion counter initiation with the silence was actually very powerful. It denied a lot of the damage that the Tyrael and Barbarian were doing while they were trying to dive onto that backline, but it still wasn't enough, partly because of the level lead that Symbiote had. It's just not enough for them to manage against that team, but we saw the glimmer of what could have been a one-team fight, maybe if Clairvoyant was even level. Now, we're in this game, second mine phase. This golem is going to be incredibly powerful, and winning such a decisive team fight right at the start of the mines is pretty much the best thing Symbiote can hope for, because it let them clear out about half of the mines without contention. Now the question is going to be whether they can re-engage into the mines in time to secure enough skulls to get a decisive lead, or whether they're going to play it really safe and just go for the night camp in the middle. Now they've got 3 people in position on the top side of this map, and that means that March and Suki are going to be forced out, not able to go into the mines. They get 3 in because they know they're even, and now they have a 5 versus 3 advantage in the mines. Clairvoyant has to give up this Grave Golem in the mines until Arthas can get inside. That means Symbiote is going to have a decisive lead. If we just check their skull count real quick, we can see that Symbiote has 50 skulls already, and they're clearing the Golem. Oh, that engage trying to come in with the hook from the left side for Clairvoyant, but it's not enough. They don't manage to find the pick they wanted. Soldier lands a stun on 2, then he re-engages onto Descent. Now Hawkfu in the middle of them with that Bylon, trying to make it work, but Kaio DPSing down very fast. Meanwhile, Soldier on that Barbarian in the middle of the Clairvoyant team does go down, but that is still a fight. Mad Timmy getting low, drops to the damage from Clairvoyant, but Clairvoyant all getting low at this point. Even their bruisery frontline does not have the health pools to sustain through this fight. Ends up getting cleaned up just at the end of the health pools of this brutal Symbiote team, and that is going to be another team fight victory, 5-2 in favor of Symbiote. And every time we see these team fights get so close, Clairvoyant has almost killed Tassadar, almost killed Demon Hunter, almost killed Tyrael. They managed to make it out, secure a higher level lead, more kill count. We see 6-22 here. Clairvoyant just cannot get the foothold in the game that they need to maybe win it. We see these team fights so close. If Clairvoyant was even level, these team fights would be so much closer. If they were a level ahead, I think that team fight would have been a clean victory for them. So that's the kind of situation where this early game disadvantage, while it doesn't mean the game is over, it can mean that your team fights late game have to be so much better in order to make it. And now Symbiote wants to fight here. They have a 1-level advantage, which is not that much, but they have a Grave Golem. They want to take advantage of that. They're trying to mitigate the effectiveness of the Stitches by being grouped up, tight, in place to engage, and we see a Barbarian leap in onto Notorious DG on Malfurion and Brightwing go. Malfurion gets interrupted by everything and goes down before he can get his ultimate off, and that's terrible for Clairvoyant. Now we see a huge clump, the SMG team all 5-stack in the middle of this Clairvoyant base. They are just shredding this Clairvoyant team. Kaio getting dove on by Descent, but it's not enough because of the Rhaegar support. Kaio doesn't even flinch, stands there, tanks out the Metamorphosis Illidan, and takes him down on his own, while Dreadnought cleans up the escaping backline. And that is a huge initiation by Soldier onto this Clairvoyant team, stunning the 2 healers. Judgment follows up, locks down Malfurion. He gets insta-gibbed at the start of that team fight, and it looks like Symbiote is trying to finish this game. Malfurion alive, Arthas alive, Stitches alive. Is it enough? That core is so low. They don't manage to save the core, and man, Symbiote just taking another decisive victory, showing why they're the team on top. They take those small advantages, run with them, and just end up dominating the game. Every team fight after that first one, a victory for Symbiote, just getting smaller advantages, moving them into bigger advantages, finally ending the game with a really aggressive push onto the core.